Good morning. Reed here. Thanks for joining me again. I got Christopher Farm for my morning walkabout. It's what is it? Mid-November 2024, and making some progress here, which is great. I was bringing my eldest to school. If you've been watching for a bit, you know that she's entered high school, and she had been alternatively schooled. I wouldn't call it exactly homeschooled in the past, because she was involved in multiple different programs. A lot of them were outdoor-based learning things, and I'm pretty happy to see that all this extra tarp that I spread is not blown away. That's really great. And she just got a report card in, and she basically got the highest marks you can get up a little bit blew away. With one class being one level down. And, with a negativity bias, that was the focus. And in one of her classes, they're getting into the notion of your different intelligences. There being, your logical math brain, your linguistical, your interpersonal, your intrapersonal, your kinesthetic, which is physical. There's a bunch of other ones, musical, and which I think is actually related to mathematics, but let's call them different, I guess. And the list goes on for a bit. And I explained to her, basically there's almost nobody who is great at all of them. We all have our proficiencies. We all have the things that we even, we might enjoy something that we're good at, and there might be some things that we're good at it, but we don't really enjoy it. And actually, okay, let's get a little bit of tightening up over here. I moved some things around, that blew across, so gotta get down here some more. Tighten that all up for next year. And the notion of it's really easy for people to, old school schooling styles were strictly about your language skills, writing and all that, and mathematics. And, if you sucked at those things, then you're just dumb. And even though that I don't think that's the case, and they didn't have an ecology section on this, we call it intelligence skills. So my wife's doing a job in here. There's a bit more blackberry to be taken out, but look at that, it's looking a lot better. And with those different intelligences and our negativity bias, it can be really easy, along with the society thing I just mentioned, to focus on just the things that you suck at and then feel bad about yourself. And I explained to her, is just when people are going out into the world and creating their jobs and things, there's an acknowledgement of hey, you're let's say a good dentist, but you're not the accountant necessarily. You hire that person. And just the notion of to play to your strengths and find other people who can play to your weaknesses. Now, when I get to the other side of this, I'm going to show you my level of flooding that's already happening here. Look at that. That is some serious soggy bogland going on right here, which is, I put it up there. Let's just see if I can zoom out for you. So in that gap that's there, there's a lake. And there's even a lake beyond that lake. And then, I'm at one. Right along this brush that you can see that's there is the creek from the lake. So we are totally, below grade of the watershed here. Trying to raise that up. Anyway, I'm curious, for yourselves, are you getting caught up on the things that you're not good at instead of focusing on the areas that you are? And I've noticed in school, that a lot of people will focus on those areas and not actually give the areas that you are good at the attention that they deserve. Because from what I've witnessed, if you actually focus on the areas that you're good at, you can really make some serious progress. And then with that, can excel in your life. Whereas if you're putting more of your focus on the things that you suck at, then you kind of just dragging yourself down and not giving yourself the propellant that you really need to, achieve whatever you're here to do. We need so many different things in this life, and with all the advancements that are currently happening technologically, recognizing that, we're going through, what do they call it, the fourth industrial revolution right now, between robotics and AI and all this stuff. And that notion of, it's from one context here to make life simpler. And each time there's one of these different, industrial revolutions, it is not strictly that jobs go away. There's actually a lot of jobs that are created. It's just that they change what the jobs are a bit. And to be able to move fluidly with that, and to recognize that one of the things we're going to really keep needing is human connection. And so that interpersonal and intrapersonal intelligence is actually highly valued in society. And in school, it might even be not thought about, witnessed, encouraged, or otherwise made progress with. And I've heard from a lot of different people who think that they're an introvert. They're like, I don't even like people. And then they realize, wait, it's just the people I've been around. And once they get into a space that has what I might think of as a common focus, then you realize, oh, I do actually like people, and I might still need to go off by myself to recharge, but I actually enjoy when we're connecting around given subject matter, which I might frame as intelligences. For anyone who's ever experienced someone who's really good at math, and you try to go into a different intelligence from that into it, it can be really messy. And it's just a framing I don't hear brought up too often of these intelligences, and the notion of, both developing each of them along with acknowledging where one might be deficient, and recognizing maybe I can ask someone else for help with that instead of needing to do it all myself. So, what are you asking for help for at this time of year? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel. Have too much fun.